What's going on, guys? Box here, and today I'm going to talk about measured moves. These are my absolute favorite thing in trading. It is damn near the reason I get in probably at least 60% of my trades and take profit, is damn near 90% of why I'm taking profit where I'm taking profit. So I looked on YouTube to find a good video on these and I couldn't. And so that is what this is for. So first, we need to go over types. There are more than this, but these are the ones I specifically use. So first is our L1 equals L2. This is also known as ABC, A, B, C. But basically, you find an impulse, you measure that, and then price is going to pull back. When it pulls back and you get like a bullish engulfing, so where you can put your stop, you take that line that matches that impulse and put it, and there's your target. That is L1 is L2. Unbelievably simple, but it's very powerful. Very simple, but very powerful. Elliott Wave people know it as ABC. Next, we have a range break measured move. Anytime you see consolidation and that consolidation breaks, you need to assume that it is going to at least go one up. So whatever the distance of that range is, let's say, so this example is bullish here, you want to assume that these bulls were not only able to stop the downtrend, hold that level, but then break the shorts. Minimum, we're expecting one length of that range to the upside. Now our impulse measured move. This is extremely simple. When you see a big old candle, measure the low close to the high close and project up. That's it. Next is a box measured move. This is unbelievably similar to the range break. We'll see in examples the difference, but it's damn near the same. But if you see price action make this, that is what you're looking for. So it's not exactly a range, but it's unbelievably similar. And again, it's the same both ways. Up, over, down, same thing. But that is the box measured move. So anytime you see bop, 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 it's the same as this here. Bop, 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 it's the same. Break it, project one to the upside. So these are very similar, but we'll show differences. And then finally, for what I'll be covering here is we have our V measured move. And that is just very simply, you see price coming down, and then you see a bullish engulfing that takes out the high, and most importantly, holds this high. We do not want it to go up, chop all the way back down. No, then it's probably going to be a range break. But a V measured move, again, measure the high close to low close and project. Okay, so now let's get into some examples now that we have like the base. So we know L1 is L2. We know when there's a range and it breaks, project one up. We know when there's a fat impulse, we should at least get the distance of that impulse to the upside, the box, and then the V. So let's check out this range break measured move here. It's not a box, right? It's not down, over, up. It's down and trickle. But once we break this high close here, high close to low close, some people include wicks. If you want, you can, but I don't. I do high close to low close because it's safer. It's a closer target. But so this would be a range break measured move. We clearly have a range here. Once it breaks, we expect one to the upside, and she gets there. There's our target. Here we have a V/box measured move. Let me delete this. So this is what I mean by the V. So as we can see here, price, this last big down candle, it also could be an impulse measured move. This is what's so beautiful about them is they're malleable. With trading, nothing is 100%. If it was 100%, we'd put it in a bot and we'd all be rich. You are the edge. You are the edge. That's it. Nothing is going to do it for you. You are the edge. But so this, we see big down, stop it, break it. There we go. We see big down, stopping, it stops it, breaks it, expect one to the upside. And that's exactly what we got. But see how it looks like a V? And then again, if you wanted to, you have this one also. Down, over, up. Break it, project to the upside. Right there. And so before you say, well, what makes this, what makes that, this is BS, yada, 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 the reason why this works is because the market is controlled by bots. We know this. Everybody knows it. I believe there was a study done that said like 70 or 80% of the market. It was something ridiculously high. So don't quote those numbers, but I'm using this for my point here. The market is controlled by bots. So a bot can't have nuance. It has to be A plus B equals C. A, B, C, L1 equals L2, range break, projected up, et cetera, et cetera. It's the same thing. So when the bots, once this stops, your immediate thought is, once you get this candle with no continuation and we blow the top of this last impulse, if you're looking for a long, here's your first target. And what a surprise, right? First target touches it, we come back down, whatever. But then when we break that, so here's how you could get into the trade. Bink. Now you have a reason to get in, a valid reason to get in. And then once that breaks and we keep breaking, now you can keep drawing bigger targets. But the theory is it's bots controlling it. So bots see this engulfing and say, okay, we're going to go one to the upside. They go one to the upside and start taking profit on it, right? Shorts are bailing out too, et cetera, et cetera. But then once we break this, it leads us to a bigger measured move, so on and so forth. And so that is the theory behind it, is it's bots controlling it, so it's going to be mechanical, 1-to-1. This amount of selling volume was stopped, so we're going to go this amount of buying volume to the upside. This was a beautiful example here. Down, up, break it, didn't close back inside, so we're okay. Exactly, projected up. Boom, there we are. Again here, big impulse. Impulse got swallowed. As soon as it gets swallowed, project it down. There you go. And once that has done that, you now have this. You have a range. Up, over, down, break, project, bam. So this is so neat to me because, okay, before we have this big down candle. Well, clearly we expect continuation of some sort, right? And whether you want to say, whether you want to do this target here for the range break measured move, or if you want to say impulse measured move, the bears were allowed to push it down this much, so we should expect one more to the downside. And look it. So you could choose whatever you want, or you want the reverse of the impulse measured move, that's fine. This is what's so cool about them, is because it gives you a reason, and it gives you a fair reason and a logical reason for why you should be taking profit here. Why are you not expecting continuation, right? Price action people are going to tell you, oh, look, it's 3 pushes. That's how you knew. SR people are going to say, oh, it was a sweep of this, et cetera, which is all fine and dandy, pick your poison. But for me, this is what gets me in a trade. And this is why on this bounce up here, this is why I go short. Because if we close back inside here, we're not interested, right? We broke the range. We need to stay outside of this range. So I would be looking for this specifically. Because we broke this, I don't want to see a close back in here. So I am going short all the way here. And if it wicks it, that's fine, but we don't want to close back in here. And if we do get a close back in here and she comes back down, I'm going to be front running my take profit because we want it to be strong. So this is how I personally would do that one. And see the range. You have a range, it breaks, it goes. You could do that. And again, what's so neat about this is your first measured move could be just based off this here. it builds on itself. So your first option would be here, up, down, break, 1-to-1, okay? So this already gave you a reason to get short up here because we had up, down. That's that V. Up, down, break it, expect 1-to-1 minimum, or expect 1-to-1. It did, okay? And then once that broke, it gave you this measured move, okay? And then as long as we don't close inside here, we have this measured move. But you see how they build? They build on top of each other. Let's just keep going back in price action. And we're on the 1 hour. You could do it on anything. It really doesn't matter. It does not matter. Range. Whatever side the range breaks here. Look at that. Bam. 1-to-1. Whatever this distance is, project it down 1. You see this? And then here's an example of a failed one, right? And it gets you out of the trade so quickly because here's a big impulse down. Okay, well, we don't want to see us close back inside here. Oh, stopping, no big deal. Another push, closed inside, closed inside, closed inside. This isn't going to work. Get out. So look at how minimal your loss can be for your target. It's massive, absolutely massive. So the RR is already on your side. But here's another one here, right? It's you could call it a V, up, down. You could call it a box, up, over, down. Call it whatever you want. But a low and a high were violated, was set and then violated. So measure it down, 1-to-1. Bam. And this can get you in trades all the time. Again, as soon as this big candle went down and got snuffed, that's an impulse. We got above it, expect it to the upside. Bam. And then that one worked. Okay, keep going, right? So first your impulse measured move worked. Now you got a V measured move, okay? And as your targets keep completing, you get to keep going up. And this is what can keep, and look at, what a surprise. You see this? This is bots. This is why this works, right? But the difference of the impulse measured move is what can get you in a trade. So again, massive down candle. Well, we have this bullish one. It stopped the whole downtrend. So minimum, if we get long, we don't want to close in here. So these wicks are fine, but if it closes in here, I'm out. But look at, bam, got us to TP. Okay, well, if we made that, we just don't want to break this. We can stay in this trade. Bop, gets to our TP, flies through it. Beautiful. We're still in the trade now. And it just goes and goes and look, right? It builds off itself. That was like a really cool example. Then again, down here, we have a mini range. Sorry, I'm sick. We have a mini range. The range breaks. We know we can play it to here. That's not enough room for me personally. But it's just to give you the example of how it's going to go. And so once that gives you a reason, okay, we hit it. Oh, we're not closing below. Oh, this is strong. Okay. Well, now look what you have. You have a big impulse and another big impulse. So 2 big impulses. This is on a 1 hour. So if you're on a 2 hour, this is 1 candle, right? Bam, gets you there. It gets you in these trades. And then, of course, since it got you there, what do we have now? A big old V, or down over up, a box measured move, whatever you want to call it. I don't really think this is a range here. That's why I said the box and the range are very close. But look, this isn't on accident. This isn't. This is bots having precision. But again, it builds off each other. You know, double bottom, you got a mini range down here, expect it there. Okay, it's there and it holds above. Okay. It just keeps stacking. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And again, it works either way. Again, big impulse, failed impulse, project down, you got the bottom. Notice all of these trade opportunities that are going to come to you because of this. Here's a janky one that worked out. Up, oh, excuse me. Here's a range. I think we could call that a range fairly. Tried to break it, close back inside, we'd be out. We would have shorted here. As soon as we close back inside, we're out. But bam, look it, closes outside, we take it again, right to our 1-to-1. It all builds on itself. And how could you get into this early? Impulse, a big impulse, right? This is different than all these little tiny bad candles. Big impulse that failed. Well, we expect minimum here. So you're in a short, right? Because bam, this broke, so you go short. You don't want to see us close back in here with our target down at these lows. It gets to a low, and when it breaks it, guess what? Now you get here. Why? Because it's a V. Bing, bing, break, project down. There you go. It builds on itself, and it gives you confluence to the target because bots are doing it. It's not a human saying, oh, I'm not going to do it. It's a bot doing it. The bots doing it, which gives you some confidence in it. At least it gives me the confidence to do it. Let's just keep going back. Again, massive. And we don't use wicks. Do not use wicks. I mean, I guess you can if you want, but I do not like wicks. I do not use them. Again, big downward push. Where should we expect the bottom of this spill to be? You see this? You have to see this. This is what I'm saying. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. It's so good. It's incredible. And some people will say you should measure the whole move. But if you see here, that spill to the close, okay, I guess fair enough. It did work. You literally got out at the bottom tick, but I am a safer trader. I take closer targets because I'm a scalper. So I would take this. After that closes, I want to see down here. Did it close inside of it? Yes, it did. So there's no trade to be had, but once this breaks and we don't close back up in, even if it's this candle here, that's fine. Take it. Even if it's this candle, that candle closed, no problem. That's your trade. So let's keep going. Again, you missed the pump, you were sleeping or something. Now we're consolidating. Measure it. Once this breaks, get into it. Bam, got your TP. Perfect. It's giving you all these opportunities to trade. Again, anywhere you want. Big impulse candle. Oops, wrong side. Anywhere you want, you basically have an opportunity. Massive impulse candle. And notice it's different than these. It's not these tiny little candles. It's these big impulses because it's showing. Big impulse, measure your impulse. There's your target. And if your target gets filled and you want to hold it for bullishness, well, then you got here. I don't know about all this extra up here because that's not what I'm trading at the moment. I'm strictly doing measured moves, but they get you in a trade. Again, we have a little trough here, down, over, up, break it, project it. There you go. Once our TP got hit, look what it gave us. Another one here. There you go. Another one here. Maybe. Yeah, there you go. If you chose that low, you had to wait a little longer. But you see the idea. You see the idea. You see how this works. And it gets you in so early. Let's go down on the 5-minute because I know we got a lot of scalpers in here. So this is the same, just a nice little 5-minute time frame. And here we are. We're on Bitcoin right now. As soon as that broke, measure it. There's our, look at that, magically. Look at the support coming in right at that level here. Okay? Let's measure this impulse. Okay, so we already know for the people that played this range break up here, you already got your profits. And now for the people playing this impulse measured move, Your target is down here at 788. That's your target for Bitcoin on this specifically. But this is how they stack on top of each other. Look at how beautiful this is. You have this little consolidation period here. Here's a little baby range. Whatever side it breaks, I want to go with. It broke directly to it, found a little bit of support. Okay, well, now we just get to move it to here. Bam. And then if it breaks, now we get to move it to here. And then here. Because if the bears were able to stop all this momentum and break these, they should at least do it one more. And maybe by the end of this video, it'll be down there. But it gives you all these opportunities. So let's see if we can find another one. L1, this impulse leg, grab it, drag it to the top of there, and look it. Leg 1 equals leg 2. Pretty neat, huh? You're going to start seeing these everywhere. Here's your eyes, here's a V. Got front run a little bit. But notice when I said if we close inside, it's weaker. Why? Because we want to see it go here immediately. We don't want to see it screw around. Look at how immediate, bing. We want to see it very, very rapidly. Oh my goodness, look at, like this is how you know it's real, because the precision and the reaction at the level. Up, over, down, okay, no problem, on the wick. And if that would have kept going, you go, here is your next target. And then here is your next target, et cetera, et cetera. You never go back, though, like way over here, because this isn't this move anymore. It's only whatever the move you're measuring. So here, up, over, down. Well, the start of this move here, arguably, would be here. But I like this one, because this is where it broke structure. It broke that. So I like this, personally. Yeah, and look, yeah, it's beautiful. But I don't want to like drone on too much. I think you guys get it, man. I think you get it. So again, we're trickling down, and you do not use this by itself. You use this with normal TA. It's just, this is what gives me that extra to do it. So for example, you have your normal triangle here, bing, or flag, wedge, whatever you want to call it. Going up, it breaks. When it breaks, well, where's it going to go? Okay, well, here's our first target. When it broke, here's our first target. We don't want to see it close back in here. So you get to go short with a minimum target here. And if that target goes, then it's here. Then it's here. You see? But once it starts closing back in this, you're not interested no more, because it's showing you the strength. What else can we get here? Oh, okay. Let me give you one more. This one's pretty good. So I'll have more of these if this video, gets traction, if people actually care about these. For me, it changed everything, so I think it's unbelievably important, but, to each their own. But as an example of when they fail, so this measured move here, we had an impulse down, okay? Here's our target for it, right? But look at this. We immediately closed back inside. So now you're wondering, it's kind of weird. Are we going to get continuation or not? The second candle that closes in here, this downside move is now off. Where's your target? The top of that down impulse, because it's a failed down impulse. But when it goes, you are not, I repeat, you are not looking for continuation. You absolutely are not. You are not looking for this to blow this high, back test a higher low, and then go sweep these. You are not looking for that. You're strictly looking to purge out all these greedy late sellers. And a huge percent of the time, it's going to come and wick that. So there's another little tidbit, which is like cool. Again, here, what do we see? A V. Grab it and measure it. High close to low close, and you get it. But it's not everywhere, but you will start seeing, for example, why would you not want to take this one here? It's a somewhat range, kind of, ish. Why would you not want to take this one? Well, basic TA, right? How many pushes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's already sketched. 6 pushes not going anywhere. Well, I guess it would be by here, excuse me. It would be by this point. You'd be looking for the measured move because down and up. But why? Well, look, we immediately close back inside. Immediately. So that's telling you the strength isn't there. This is shorts taking profit, longs taking profit, something, but it's not strength. And this is the same as this. Big down that gets stopped, we're going to sweep the top of it. Big up that gets stopped, we're going to tap the bottom of it. You see? And so this is showing you the weakness of the buyers because of this measured move. If these buyers were strong, not only did they stop this, they should have kept it going and minimum giving you this distance up. So another thing you can infer once you get really good with measured moves is the strength. And then look at that. So you have your normal TA, you have what you're looking for, and then look at. So you're already thinking based off of, oh, our measured move isn't holding. There's not real strength here. This could be weak. Then you turn on your indicators and you're getting red flags after multiple flags. You see the confluence in this? And so even if you don't want to take the long or an immediate short, you know this is where you're looking to get short based off the weak strength. Again, we're at the bottom. Here's a V. So you will see these everywhere. You absolutely will see these everywhere. Or even you missed, well, this one, see how it went up but immediately got swallowed? You're not interested. It needs to be, and look it, stopped, swallowed. You're not interested. It needs to be clean because the bots have to see it. But once you get this candle, you expect at least one more up with the impulse measured moves. Let's see what Bitcoin ended up doing down here. And look it. Beautiful. I mean, again, we had a little range. If that range breaks, you have your target. Bam, it did. Okay, let's move it here and look. This is how you know it's bots. The second we got through here, price pushed back into it. We get here, same thing. Now we go to a more important low, immediate. Because not only is there random buyers, there's support here because they're going to be jumping out of their positions. That's why I always front run these just a little bit, because they're going to be jumping out of their positions. It's very rare that you get a beautiful push through it and then suck back up. It'll usually wick it. Bam. And if it does close through it, beautiful. Now you have a deeper target. If it would have closed through, we would have moved it here. Then we would have moved it here. But as of here, you have an upper range that failed and broke. And so it goes there. So even when it goes here, that's fine. You didn't quote unquote miss the move. Because if it's strength, it'll actually be strength. You don't want to see it close in here. And then there's your target. And what's neat is, so this example specifically, now we're looking at this low. Okay, so we don't want to see price close up in here for it to go down here. Is this making sense? Well, I hope it is, man. These are what changed everything for me. Absolutely everything. Measured moves is what has helped me elevate my game. It's just L1, L2, range breaks, the box, and the V. There's impulse measured moves, and there's a bunch of other ones out there, but these are my bread and butters. And so not only am I using all of those, I'm combining them with my market SPY indicators. So when I have, for example, before this run up here, when price was here, so I'm already looking, or let's do it to the downside to make it easier. Huge impulse. No one can argue that big impulse. Okay. We're looking for minimum that strength to the downside. We turn on our indicators. And we're looking for reversals. If this is going to stop, we're looking at reversals around this zone. And what do we see? We see that steepness of baseline 1. Well, 1, there's a huge buyer, right? But 2, we see price starting to reclaim baseline. So not only is our measured move, all our bots are taking profit, people like me are taking profit, everyone who sees these are taking profit, we now reclaim baseline 1. It's time to get long. And again, right, you can get long just based off price action here. Remember, big down candle. By the second candle, we expect a sweep of this. Bam, we sweeped it. But you turn your indicators on, and now it's giving you your reason. So why should I take this baseline 1 reclaim? Well, because it's off of a measured move that everyone's taking profit on. This is a good trade. And you get well beyond 1-to-1. You probably got 2-to-1 there. And if you held it, you got $1 billion, right? But again, you have your indicators. Big drop. We're looking for support to come in here. Perfectly matches up with the value line. We get that stopping volume. Cross baseline 1. Good trade. And what's so beautiful is this little V here. Okay, there's our first target. Our first target is going to sweep this. So we have this little V here, and if it closes above, okay, it closed above. So we have now swept that. If that holds, we have a new target, right? And now it's close enough to the top. I mean, I guess if you really wanted, you could go back here, down, up, there's the top. But it's giving you those reasons. So when you're down here, you were looking for support down here based off the impulse of this candle. It perfectly lined up with the value line. So that's already a great buy. And then we cross baseline 1 and back test it. Beautiful. And so this is how I use them in conjunction with Market SPY. But I wanted to give you what they were first, so then I could show you them with Market SPY. I hope you enjoyed, guys. Box out.